Hi, I'm Joni Eisenhower, Assistant Director of Health Promotion for Elizabethtown College. Join me today to make Cool Whip sugar cookies. This is a simple, quick, and easy, inexpensive recipe that I think you're going to love. Okay, so before we get started, you want to make sure that you preheat your oven to 350 so it's nice and hot and ready to go when it's time to put the cookies in. So very few ingredients for this recipe. We have a cake mix, which I am going to put in the mixer here, and it is a yellow cake mix. You could also use a vanilla cake mix. I haven't tried this with other flavors, but I don't see why you could not use like a chocolate cake mix or even another flavor. You're going to use an egg, add an egg in your mixer. And you're going to use 8 ounces of Cool Whipped or a whipped topping. If you are following a dairy-free diet, they do have some options that are out there that are almond milk based. The container that I have is a larger container, so I'm only using half of it. But one thing you want to make sure that you do when you're using whipped topping is you want to thaw it before you use it, okay? So this would not mix well if it was still frozen. So for me, I'm going to put half the container in, but if you buy the 8-ounce container, the entire container will go into your mixture, okay? You will see on the recipe, it calls for confectioner's sugar. That is actually going to be to roll the cookies in when we get this batter mixed. So don't add any sugar to this. This is what kind of makes this cookie a little healthier than maybe your traditional sugar cookie. And you'll notice we're not adding butter either. Okay, so I'm going to turn this on low and I will show you what it looks like in just a few minutes. Okay, so I'm done mixing the batter, and you're going to want to scrape the sides just to make sure everything is incorporated, okay? So you want to take the middle beater out just so you can get the excess off here. All right. You can use a hand mixer as well. It doesn't have to be a KitchenAid. Or if you really want to get a good workout, you can mix it yourself with a whisk. It might take a little bit longer. I will tell you, you would think that this would be very, very fluffy, but it's actually kind of like a very sticky and viscous mixture here. So we're going to pause for a second, and then I'm going to show you the next step. Okay, next step here is we're going to use the confectioner sugar, not to be confused with regular sugar. This is the fine sugar that looks like flour. It's also called 10X. So if you're going to the grocery store, it is usually in a plastic bag versus a paper bag or a paper packaging like regular sugar. Also, just because it's the holiday season, I thought I'd add some sprinkles as well to my plate. And the reason I'm putting this on a plate is we're going to scoop the batter out and roll it in these. So then you're going to put it on the baking pan. Anytime that you're using a baking pan, spray it with nonstick spray. If you are using a cookie scooper like the one I have here, I always spray that with nonstick spray as well, and it helps it come off of that area pretty easily. If you are using a spoon, use the nonstick spray on the spoon. It will definitely help you. So we are going to just scoop a little bit of the batter. You're going to just pop it in your hand there, okay? I'm not going to really roll it because it's in a circular form already, but I am going to roll it into the confectioner sugar, okay? So this is the part of the sugar cookie, okay? So there it is. When you are adding sprinkles, you only want to put sprinkles on the one side, just because you don't want them to burn. If they're caught underneath, they will burn, okay? So there we go. Again, it is a stickier batter, so you might have to work with it a little bit, but then you're just going to drop it onto your baking sheet like so, and I'm going to put 3 across and fill my entire baking sheet. This is supposed to make about 2 dozen, but I will tell you, time to time, sometimes the measurements on the recipe aren't always accurate to what I'm making, so if you get a little bit more or a little less, it's okay. So I'll show you when my cookie sheet is full and right before we pop it into the oven. Okay, so my cookies are ready to go in the oven. I'm using a larger cookie sheet, so mine fit 15 on here. Also, there's about a little less than half of the batter left, so the 24 approximation with the recipe is going to be pretty close. So we're going to put these in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. Now just be aware that everybody's oven is a little bit different, so you know best. Altitude also changes cooking time, but we'll be back in 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, so the cookies are done. It was about 11 minutes in my oven here. So again, 10 to 12 minutes. Just want to make sure that the bottom is golden brown. And let me put this down. I'll show you how to check. You just want a spatula. Pick up your cookie. Just pick one. The bottom looks really good. Okay, so now you're just going to put it on a baker's rack so they can cool, and then you can use the same pan for the rest of the batter. Okay, just be careful. You don't want to touch the pan because it is very hot. Okay, so I will show you what the inside of the cookie looks like in just a second. Okay, so here is our little plate of cookies. I think it looks very cute, very festive, and I want to show you the inside of the cookie. It is really fluffy, very moist, really good with some milk, or you can just eat it by itself too. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season.